Hello guys, so we got another Forge of Fiesta run. This time it's Knight, Blackmage, Bluemage and Samurai. I know, right? How much more OP does this go? So this time I have set it up for end game. Full disclosure, I've already beaten the game with this party and I'm on my next run already. But I would like to, since I just recently created this, I thought I might as well stream this because as I mentioned last time, I would prefer to stream this endgame stuff. Honestly, especially with this party, most of the fights have been cheese, so I think really the only interesting fights are going to be Omega, not even Shinryu, and Neo X-Death. So I'm not going to even bother with Shinryu. There's literally nothing going on with Shinryu. I've already set up the Wonder Wand, we're going to Zerk him and then just keep hammering away at him and keep resurrecting people, whoever he kills. That's all. So even Shinryu is not an interesting fight. Omega. So we're gonna attempt Omega first, and then we'll go on to Neo X-Death. So. Okay, I think I've already set up. Since we've got Bluemage, we got access to White Wind and Mighty Guard. Mighty Guard doesn't really matter for the battle, but what it means is we get free float. Of course, even without a Bluemage, getting float is possible, although not easy. So that's not a consideration. But with the Bluemage, what is really important is that we have access to White Wind. And since we are going to be relying on the targeting reflect strat, White Wind is our best healer. So whenever I get Bluemage, that is one check mark for the Omega fight. You know, these days I've done so many Forge of Fiesta runs that now I'm just whenever I roll the party, I'm like, okay, how can I beat Omega with this party? So as soon as I saw Bluemage, we got White Wind, which means we got very good healing. Otherwise, normally, in order to recover from his surge beams, we need to constantly have everybody use high potions or elixirs on themselves, which is a waste of 4 turns as opposed to if we have Bluemage. With White Wind, we only need to waste 2 turns. Well, not waste. We need to spend 2 turns to heal everybody up. So that's a fantastic advantage. And if we are calculating this properly, we don't even need to spend elixirs to heal everybody up. White Wind is just that useful. And of course, the fact that White Wind can heal despite having the presence of Reflect is one of its greatest assets. Apart from that, of course, Blackmage means that we have a fantastic damage option against Omega. And what else? We got Knight. So what does a Knight bring to the table? Literally nothing. Actually, he does. So the thing about Knight is that he can equip shields. In fact, I got so lucky with this party that I've got three jobs who can innately equip shields, and that is incredibly important because I went ahead and stole 4 flame shields. And because I got Knight, Knight grants us access to the equip shield ability. So I've got the Blackmage with equip shield, and the Blackmage also has flame shield. What the flame shield does is it neutralizes Omega's flamethrower attack, which is admittedly 33%, but with Omega we are dealing with multiple instances of 33% hits. So let's take a look at the setup here. And last but not the least, the Samurai. One would think that Samurai doesn't really bring anything to the table, but the thing is, this damn Masamune is incredibly useful. So effectively, the Samurai is almost as useful as a Time Mage for this fight. I mean, I hadn't even thought about the Masamune until I had asked a totally unrelated question about how to deal with Omega on Reddit. And someone brought this to my attention that Masamune can be used to cast haste. So that actually makes the battle a lot easier. Not saying that the battle is easy to begin with, but access to haste gives us an incredible amount of advantage. Not advantage. Well, it does give us a much better chance of survival. So we got whenever I rolled Bluemage, we got survival in hand. If I got nobody else other than a Bluemage, the Bluemage also has Blowfish, which does constant 1000 damage. But every time he gives you an opportunity, if all you can do is 4000 damage, I don't think it's worth it. Anyway, so setup. Pretty much everybody who can has black. So we got Knight with black, Samurai with black, black 6. Bluemage with black, although he's going to be primarily focused on White Wind. And then we got okay, Blackmage with shields, which I had just explained. Okay, so that's the ability setup. In terms of equipment, everybody has reflect rings. I've taken away this equipment because every 8 points armor, especially the classes who can use heavy armor. Obviously, this is only used for physical attacks, isn't it, to protect against physical attacks. So removing this armor gives us a slight advantage in terms of speed. Remember that every 8 points of equipment weight contributes to a -1, essentially -1 agility, and you do not want any loss in agility for the Omega fight, which is a purely magical fight. Masamune, Flame Ring, Flame Shield. So with the Flame Shield, we are protecting against Flamethrower. And Masamune allows us access to Haste. So the initial part of the fight is going to be setting up with Haste. I've got the Thief's Knife on the Knight because the Thief's Knife grants a certain amount of agility. How much? Only 1 agility? Well, 1 is better than none. First, similar to the Samurai, I've removed his equipment as well, and Wall Ring. Bluemage and Blackmage have Thunder boosting. This guy only has Thunder Rod. The Blackmage has a Wizard Rod. Flame Shield, Golden Hairpin for half MP usage, and this is very important. I could have used the Black Robe for more magic, but the Bard's Clothes prevent Silence, which is Omega's Rainbow Wind attack. Unfortunately, I don't have an equivalent piece of equipment for the Knight and the Samurai, so if they get inflicted with Silent by Rainbow Wind, they are out of commission in terms of dealing damage at least. Obviously, they can still use stuff like high potions. So one should hope that if they do get hit by Rainbow Wind, then it's on the odd turn, so that they have it takes like 2 or 3 turns to recover from Silence, and there is no remedy for it. And similarly, the Black Mage has Wizard Rod, Flame Shield, Cold Pin, Bard Clothes, which is also known as Sage's Surplice, whatever, and Reflect Ring. So let's do this, shall we? It was a pretty easy fight, I must admit. So as I said, our first priority is to set up with Haste. It also helps that, oh my god, back attacked! Don't really think it matters, but still. Okay. What a pleasant surprise. I think we'll still do it. We've got permanent reflect after all, so it's not as if he'll screw us over before we can do anything. So another very useful thing about the Masamune is that whoever is holding the Masamune at the beginning of the battle will always take his turn first at the beginning of the battle, and his or her ATB will flow based on that reference point. So it's not as if just because this is a back attack. I think essentially it's technically coded so that the Masamune wielder has ATB set to full at the beginning of battle, and he's the only one who has ATB set to full. So technically right now both Omega and Paris have their ATB full, but Paris will be first in terms of priority. I think that's how it works. That's the way it makes sense to me anyway. But the other guys look at their ATB. So I need to keep this. I need to keep track of who all have been hasted. So right now it's a knight. Obviously, Bluemage is the most preferable, but you can't really control who gets that reflected haste. We can't manually cast haste on our people because of reflect after all. So in this way, it really does work out that Omega has reflect himself. Essentially, we are turning. Oh, nice! He also got hasted. No, we want the Bluemage's turn. Finally. Hopefully he will execute this white wind before the next surge beam. Otherwise we are screwed. Okay, we are fine. So now it's the samurai and the knight that has been hasted. Remember that the next attack is going to be a double attack where he's going to use 2 attacks successively. Oh god, another surge beam? And Maelstrom. Oh, okay. We have no answer to Maelstrom. I have not yet been able to figure out how any effective strategy of dealing with that, and based on everything that I've asked around and read, there is no defense against that except if you have the chemist. And if you have the chemist, you don't have to worry about a damn thing. No, I didn't want this. Why did it load that save file? So yeah, I think I've already disclosed that I have already beaten the game. I'm just streaming this end game once again. Which is good. So we saw that Omega can be a challenge. I first tried him off stream. This time I got a preemptive. Wow. RNG give it and RNG take it away. Blackmage got a haste, okay. Don't really care though. So execution during the surge beam is pretty standard. We just throw a high potion at the Bluemage, and on his subsequent oh shit, I might have made a mistake. I think I have made a huge mistake. How soon is the Bluemage gonna get his turn? Oh, never mind. He got a haste boost. Thank you. So that saved my ass from my own mistake. Who else needs haste? Is it the knight that needs haste? Hang on, we need that potion to execute first. I can't tell you the number of times what has happened instead of the executing in a sequence is... Okay, Rainbow Wind, cool. So we can take advantage of this targeting phase. I think everybody is hasted now. So you're gonna nail him with quad reflected full 3s. And we don't care about whatever he's gonna use. After targeting, normally what he does is he uses either emission or atomic ray. So if he uses atomic ray on himself, because targeting was reflected on him, look at the damage we're doing. What, he used Rainbow Wind on both these guys? Damn it. That's okay. We still did 14,000 damage. And if Faris and Krill also had been available for both threes, that would have done about 8,000 more damage. So we are good in terms of damage output. All we need are 3 targeting opportunities, and he's gonna die. So Atomic Ray is reflectable. That is kind of detrimental to us, but at least it doesn't hurt us. What we need to protect against is emission, and that is where the flame shields come in handy. In fact, I would say anybody who has access to reflect and can wear a shield can theoretically solo Omega, and I've done that. I've done that with certain parties, most notably a Mystic Knight with White Magic. The biggest challenge I faced with a Mystic Knight with White Magic was Rainbow Wind, surprisingly. You would think that Rainbow Wind is his most benign attack. But because of Rainbow Wind... Oh, Maelstrom, crap, we're dead. Nope, there is no use. I have no way to block this. One thing I was considering is to somehow get 4 Aegis shields. 2 are readily available in treasure chests. So there's 1 Aegis shield we get in Moor Forest and 1 Aegis shield we get in... Where is the second Aegis shield? I think the second Aegis shield is Istri Falls. Yeah, that's where the second Aegis shield is. If we can get hold of 2 more Aegis shields, I think either someone drops them in the void or we can steal Aegis shields. Not 100% certain. Can I not constantly load this? So no matter the extent I have gone to with the setup, to set up float and then have everyone with the flame shield, have all the mages with the bard clothes, that Maelstrom attack is one thing that I have no answer to. Shell is potentially useful against it, useful, but it's still not safe. It's nowhere near safe. Now gotta wait for a surge beam. So we got, who all have we got hasted right now? Oh, Maelstrom again, fantastic. Absolutely no answer to this. Aegis Shield gives us a 30... Once again, I keep doing this. The Aegis Shield gives us a flat 33% chance, irrespective of levels. So that's why I would say that is probably as safe as we can get against that Maelstrom attack. So Maelstrom itself is a 33% chance on Omega's certain turns. And yet another 33%. Yeah, there we go. Emission. So you know, more I think about this, more it feels like coming up with a strategy to deal with Omega is having to deal with all of these 33% chances, because cumulatively all of them add up. So you got a 33% chance of Maelstrom, which I have now no clue how to deal with. There's a 33% chance of Rainbow Wind. Okay, 3 people have got haste, right? Blackmage. So I guess it's just the Bluemage that is remaining. Man, the most important person in the group hasn't been hasted yet. This is what I was talking about. We need to spend a little bit of time in setup first. But that is not too critical because we've got very good healing. Otherwise, just imagine, for every surge beam, we would have to spend all 4 of our turns healing up. And what's even worse is that high vitality jobs like Knight, Samurai, Monk, you can't just use a high potion to heal against. You gotta use an elixir. And that sucks. This is yet another 30% that we need to protect against. He'll use either emission. Emission is fine, but his targeting phase, since we are reflecting targeting on him, he uses either emission or atomic ray, and if he uses atomic ray on himself, it will obviously get reflected. So right now the Samurai is busy hasting everybody up. Come on, Bluemage. There we go. Everybody's hasted now. So now the Samurai is free to do whatever he wants. So basic strategy is just to wait until his targeting phase and then nail him with quad reflected ult 3s. Just all the time hoping that he does not use Maelstrom. He only uses Maelstrom on his the double attack turns. But yeah, I digress. I was talking about the fact that when you get high vitality jobs, you got to grind for a shit ton of elixirs. Bluemage helps with that as well, tremendously. And 33% chance of Quake as well. I was mentioning all the 33% chances, wasn't I? So although it feels like you can get away with, taking a few risks, really, the longer the battle lasts, the narrower your window of opportunity becomes. There we go. So Surge Beam, Rainbow Wind, which, since you didn't use Maelstrom, we are good for this targeting phase now. And Haste also tremendously helps out. We got Haste here with the Samurai. The other option is Time Mage, but if we got Time Mage, we can use the Quick Sap glitch. Generally, I try to avoid using the Quick Sap glitch. So if I had Time Mage, that would also have been a strategy to have the Time Mage cast Haste, set up Haste on everyone. Oh man, this was a game-changing piece of knowledge when I came to know about the fact that you can reflect his targeting. That just opened up a whole window of opportunities. So normally, under normal circumstances, I thought the only way to deal with Omega is if you get Chemist, or if you get Bard, or if you get Time Mage. Time Mage can use a quick side glitch. Bard, well, Omega has a crippling weakness to the Bard, but it still takes good timing to actually be able to execute that properly. And Chemist, well, Chemist can pretty much do whatever he wants. Delta attack, and what's the next? Quick, good. So you see, it's all of these small things that you need to guard against in order to have any chance of taking on this guy. Because he's just got so much. He's got so much in his repertoire. Holy crap. This is actually quite a fun battle with the Chemist as well. But I especially like Shinryu, taking on Shinryu with the Chemist. Because honestly, if you can't cheese Shinryu with Berserk, he is nasty. Compared to Omega, he's got even... He can do much more. He can hurt you far more effectively than Omega, which is saying something. So Omega, generally, the way his script goes is just assume Surge Beam every alternate turn. And effectively, when I say every alternate turn, it's since he gets 2 turns, or he's that fast, since he easily gets 2 turns before we even get 1 turn. Without haste, mind you. Minus haste. Or unless we are using very fast jobs like Thief. So it's going to be Surge Beam, and then he's going to use one of 3 moves, one of which is Emission. The remaining 2 moves are reflectable. So by its very nature, since we are using Reflect, that takes care of a whole variety of all the stuff he can do. So right off the bat, we only need to concern ourselves with stuff that is not reflectable. Oops. Oh, GG! And that is how we beat Omega with this party now. So everybody had their roles. I would say actually, yeah, I was gonna say that the Knight is probably the least useful, but I would say Knight did play his part because of that Flame Shield. And remember, what we are dealing with is those 33% chances every freaking turn. Because right now our biggest hole the biggest hole in our strategy is if he uses Maelstrom. During the course of this fight, anytime he uses Maelstrom, we are dead. Because as far as I am concerned, unless you have good damage output with just one single character, unless you have awesome damage output with just one single character, you need all four of your characters to stay alive. So even if somehow by some lucky break his Maelstrom managed to miss one or more of these guys, even then that is not acceptable, because the strategy we were using here is to quad reflect bolt 3s. And if 2 out of the 4 die, then that's going to reduce the damage to a significant degree. Even that might be doable, but it's just going to drag on the fight, and the more the fight drags on, the less likely you are to win. Simply because at any given point in time, he can use Maelstrom. So here we had a very significant advantage. I probably shouldn't use the word advantage, but one very useful tool we had in this fight was the Masamune's haste. What if we did not have haste, which is true for a significant portion, which is true for a significant number of 4-job Fiesta runs. Let's just say that you had good damage options, which means obviously you are not really looking to drag the fight. What if I did not have haste? That is something I like to find. Can we still use this strategy without haste? I think it's possible, but the problem I see is that every once in a while, once again a 33% chance that he uses Surge Beam right after his last Surge Beam, which was the alternate turn. I might be able to demonstrate here now. So this time what we are going to try and do is not use haste, not set up haste. Instead of that, I might as well use a Dancing Dagger for that extra magic. So how do we deal with this guy if we don't have access to haste? I think it's still possible. Number one, it is definitely going to take a little longer, but not necessarily but it might not necessarily be because of a lack of haste. So since we got Bluemage, we are very effective in terms of healing up. Fortunately, because he only uses Surge Beam every alternate turn, we are getting away with this. Because like I said, he gets 2 turns before we get even 1 turn. That is the only reason it works out for us. However, there is a small window that right after this last Surge Beam, when his turn comes to use his double attack, he can use a Surge Beam again. This time he used Delta Attack, and next one can be Maelstrom, which will wipe me out. Quake. Okay, so this time he used Delta Attack and Quake. So this time we can take advantage of the targeting phase. Remember, this is without haste. However, instead of using Delta Attack as his first move in this double attack phase, before he uses targeting, he could have used Surge Beam again. Thing is, I would have been forced to heal up. I would have been forced to spend this turn healing up instead of doing damage. I think that is pretty much the only difference between having haste and not having haste. I think so. But by the looks of it, it looks like the Bluemage and the Blackmage are incredibly slow. So if the battle drags on long enough, they will get nailed by that double Surge Beam. The Surge Beam that comes right after his last Surge Beam. So I think it's needless to say, we need to end this fight quickly, as quickly as possible. Which is possible because of the incredible amount of damage we can throw at him. Ideally, Every targeting phase we can do like 14,000 damage to him. Yeah, but just look at the blue mage and the black mage. They are lagging so far behind in terms of turns. This is the beauty of the ATB system. Someone who's fast will just it would seem as if they're just getting faster and faster. If this was a traditional turn-based system, then you would still be restricted by the fact that you can only take one turn before the enemy gets a turn, or vice versa. Oh, so we are dead. This is what I was talking about. Yeah, I think this is a major hole in our strategy if we don't use haste. So this is yet another 33% that we need to guard against. So I'm just wondering whether it's worth a try. Under normal circumstances, the blue mage and the black mage, maybe not the black mage, but the blue mage is certainly faster than a knight or a samurai. How come he is so slow this time? I'd say the blue mage's speed is perhaps the most important in this setting. Let's just quickly take a look at this. Speed, agility 26 and equipment weight 10. Agility 30. Whoa! The knight has an agility of 30. Seriously? Interesting. Of course, add equipment weight of 10 on top of that, because I think the gold pen weighs pretty. Gold pen weighs a lot. What if we removed it? Gold pen only weighs 2. So what the hell is holding him down? So I think we'll give it a couple more attempts. What we are hoping for, apart from Omega not using Maelstrom, is not using his Surge Beam twice in a row. Because as long as he's only using Surge Beam every 2 turns, we can heal up with the Blue Mage, but otherwise we are screwed. Alternately, I could give the Knight. I could give Blue Magic to the Knight at the expense of damage, also at the expense of MP, because she can't hold the golden hairpin. Let's just give it a couple more tries. So this is just a purely academic exercise to find out how we would need to deal with Omega if we did have access to, if we had good damage options, but we didn't have access to haste. Because normally, only way for you to get permanent haste is via the Hermes Sandwoods, and the only way to get permanent reflect is reflect rings. Which is why the summoner is so good. Summoner is one of the few ways you can get both haste and reflect. So look at that, emission without equipped shields. She would have died there to that emission. So that is yet another 33% that we need to protect against. You know, now that I think about it, perhaps having 2 people with blue magic would take away, would build in a lot more safety. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more that makes sense. I think eventually he is going to use two surge beams. So I don't see myself actually succeeding in this attempt. But next attempt, I'll have two people with blue magic with white wind. So the minimum requirement with this configuration is that we need blue magic for white wind. Otherwise, we'd be wasting a full 4 turns healing everybody up after every freaking surge beam. That is just not sustainable, no matter what damage output you have. Which is why I was talking about the solo run. In order to solo Omega, that one person needs to have insane damage output, and the only way I've seen that happening is if you have Mystic Knight with the chicken knife. Mystic Knight with the chicken knife and Mystic Knight with Bolt 3 Spellblade. With the chicken knife, he can do over 9,000 damage. So that was... Hello, Matt. I thought you were going to play for a lot longer than this, man. Where did you reach? Barrier Tower, beat it almost, or what? So what I'm attempting here is now this is actually my previous run. Just beat Bluemage. Okay. This was actually my previous run, but I'm just streaming endgame here. Because on my current run, I'm just basically grinding with the Zerg and the White Mage. So I'll leave that for end of the stream. If I actually want to go, if I want to do that in the first place. All right, this is our moment of reckoning here. Is he going to use another Surge Beam? I hope not. Oh wait, Bluemage actually got a turn. Delta attack, okay. And it's gonna be Maelstrom, isn't it? Quick, okay. But you just see, the Bluemage and the Blackmage are falling behind so damn fast. So what we're attempting here is to attempt to do Omega, assuming that we only have Bluemage and Blackmage and we did not have access to haste using the Masamune. I've already beaten him once after setting up haste. Oh wait, you need to have food. Go ahead, man, go ahead. I'm preempting you before you inform me yourself. So we've already managed to survive two targeting phases. This is impressive, but it all depends on luck. And the longer this fight goes on, the more the Bluemage is going to fall behind. In fact, not just the Bluemage, everybody is falling behind. So it's very clear to see that Omega is so fast that he gets 2 turns well before any of my guys get 1 turn. Look at that. Holy crap, this is scary. This is legitimately scary without Oh, Maelstrom, rip. Yeah, kind of expected. So you need float in order to negate the 33% of quake. Dang it, Maelstrom. So like I said last time, I think this time what I'm gonna do is have blue on two people. At the expense of damage, we are building in some safety here. This might just be workable. Who should have blue? We are very fortunate that blue will not be affected by rainbow wind, only black magic. So by the looks of it, who was the faster one? Was it Krill? Krill has agility of 30 and Faris has agility of 39, so I think I'll give blue magic to Faris so that Krill can first use high potion on Faris and then Faris can use white wind. This might be workable. Of course, I need to make sure that Faris is never gets in a situation where she doesn't have MP. Because white wind takes a lot of MP. Alright, so we got Faris with blue magic, Krill has black magic, Butts has black magic, and Lena has black magic. Let's try this again. So yeah, setup for Omega was we need to set up float. Then we need to set up flame shields in order to negate the 33% chance of flamethrower every alternate turn. I do have kind of a strategy against Maelstrom, but that is a 33% chance from my own side. That is Aegis Shields. I should really try that once. I should try to steal 4 Aegis Shields and then see whether... I mean, even if it gives me 1 chance at survival, that's 1 more than what I would have normally. And we are dealing with very acute margins with Omega. For obvious reason, I'm going to prefer White Wind from Butts, because that's 14 MP instead of 28 MP. Sadly, he used Surge Beam this time, so we need to waste this targeting phase and heal up. This targeting phase is a waste. If I don't heal up right now, then his next Surge Beam after he completes his targeting phase is going to wreck me. But at least we managed to survive. That is the important part. Oh yeah, Flame Shield for this 33% as well. So I think the Flame Shield strat is much more important than I initially gave credit. Okay, the Bluemage is lagging behind way too much, so I think this time I will take the opportunity to heal up with Faris. Look at that ATB. Mission. Wow, it's seriously, it's not a 33% chance. Having flame resistance or absorption is far more important than the flat 33% chance there. Alright, this targeting we can take advantage of. Which means if you don't have flame resist or absorb, you might be able to survive. You might be able to survive flamethrower, but you won't survive the atomic ray at the completion of the targeting phase. With shell, yeah, I forgot to mention shell. Yeah, look at that. This atomic ray does 3000 damage. Even with shell, I don't see how we can survive. How anybody can survive that atomic ray. Of course, unless we decide to grind a shit ton. Like, what level do you need to grind to in order to survive an atomic ray that does 1500 damage? I mean, after shell, 1500 seems pretty reasonable. But remember that very few Forge of Fiesta parties are going to have access to shell, and even when they do have access to shell, thing is, you need to spend a lot of time to set it up, just like I did haste in my previous attempt. So I just don't think it's feasible. And coming back to my point of how about the options we have to deal with Omega, the cases when we have both haste and reflect. Apparently, another instance is when we've got white mages. So technically, you can have the Hermes sandals plus you can manually use reflect. Oh shit! Okay, Maelstrom only affected 2 people. And since I buffered my turns, technically I might be able to save the Blackmage. Should I give this a try? Otherwise it's a rip. Oh, the Bluemage might be able to use a White Wind. Come on! Don't die! Wow, I can't believe this! I can't believe this! Looks like that's one way to survive Maelstrom. Holy shit! Oh, this is food for thought. Nice 1 HP. I know, right? How did I survive this Maelstrom? So the conditions here are, at the point when he uses Maelstrom, two of my guys, one of whom is a Bluemage, needs to have a full ATB. In fact, he needs to have full ATB since the previous turn itself. Which is the only way that he'll get his turn immediately once Maelstrom hits. But that is a very restrictive condition. Holy shit. This deserves testing actually. Interesting. Did he use targeting? Oh wow, in all this no, we just survived Maelstrom, didn't we? He hasn't used targeting yet. Alright, just waiting for his targeting now. We are back on track. Of course, Butts and Lena can't use their turns, or they can use their turns. God damn it, he used targeting. Ugh. It's okay, it's okay. That is food for thought. I have never survived a Maelstrom before. I think this is the point where we need to buffer our turns. So this time I'll have Faris use White Wind and buffer Lena and Butts' turn. Faris literally has nothing to do other than White Wind. Yeah, so well before he uses his double attack, both Lena and Butts have, two people have, come on, use Maelstrom. There we go. Okay, Maelstrom didn't hit Lena, but let's see if we can save Krill. I'm gonna keep the fucking A button pressed. Come on! Damn it! Nope, I guess I just got lucky last time. Damn it! Now we are all screwed up in terms of ATB. But that's okay. My initial plan was just to reset if anybody dies, but let's see if we can make this work. Of course, whenever he uses Quake, Krill is going to die. But the minimum requirements for any kind of safety here is Bluemage. Because I think if you have to heal all 4 people, you have to waste all 4 turns every time you use a Surge Beam, then you just have no way. Or maybe it's workable if you have haste. Maybe that combo is workable. So if you don't have Bluemage but you have haste, you know, the problem is I have never got a run where I got the Samurai and not a Bluemage. It's pretty stupid if you think about it. Every time I got a Samurai, I also had Bluemage. And since Bluemage does most of the boss killing, every goddamn time I had the Samurai, I had like nothing to do. Oh, you used Surge Beam again, god damn it. RIP! Might as well have Lena kill herself. Okay. But this is workable. This is definitely workable. So if you have people with two people with White Wind, this is definitely workable. I'm gonna give it. Well, let's see how the next attempt goes. I'm very curious about this. I think it's pretty clear to say that I got lucky with that Maelstrom. I don't think buffering turns will help you. I think maybe it just depends on how much HP is left when you are set to HP crit. It might just be a random number and I got lucky with that random number on that instance. Let's give it one more attempt. And then we'll go ahead with Neo X Death. Why did she get hurt on? Oh right. That guy doesn't have the Masamune. I forgot. Keep calling Faris a guy. One of these days she's gonna hit me. I might be concluding, I might be counting my chickens well before they are hatched, but I think that the strategy is definitely workable. Which which really gladdens my heart, because that means, God damn it! We are playing with 33% chances, and I'm getting screwed every goddamn time. But that's how fighting Omega is, especially with one hand tied behind your back. I really want to see where this takes me. Because I would consider this a massive success if I can do it without haste. Which means that pretty much every time we have a Bluemage, as long as we have good damage output, we are not guaranteed. We can definitely take on Omega. Which broadens my options even more. Speaking of options, I was talking about what parties can deal with Omega. Bard, Time Mage, yeah, I think I've already mentioned this. Bard, Time Mage, and Chemist, of course. But now that I know about this targeting reflect strategy, can you please not use Maelstrom? This guy's annoying me now. He's doing this on purpose. I'm dropping a lot of frames, so I don't know how it's looking on stream. It's just it's the usual fare. Okay, one last attempt. There's been some drop frames. There's been a lot of drop frames. Mostly fine. Okay, that's cool. Hopefully the audio is okay. In terms of the video, I've obviously set it to a bitrate much higher than what it actually requires for the SNES. But it's not as if we are playing an FPS or anything like that. So video, if it just stutters or something like that, I'm okay with that, but hopefully the audio is fine. But it's up to 15% here, which is pretty worrying. 15% drop frames. I was mostly ignoring it until as long as it was below 5%. 5% is like normal for me. But we are up to 14% drop frames. Oh, she can't use it? Okay. Audio is more steady than the visuals. Cool. As far as I'm concerned, that is much more important. But you mean sometimes you're still getting the buffering thing, eh? And the Twitch video player these days is, I don't know what update they came out with, but if it buffers a lot, it really screws up after a certain amount of dropped frames. So that's worrying as well. You constantly need to refresh, and wow, I mean, just imagine how bad that is. So the image freezes, I can still hear you in here. Like, cool. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the video stuttering. I'm gonna monitor this for a little while longer, and if this keeps up, just when I say if this keeps up, it's getting even worse. Holy crap! Holy crap! We are in double digits now. Oh my god! As in double digit bitrate. Omega is screwing with my internet connection as well. I feel like we are really close because this is, oh shit, I forgot to heal after surge beam. We are dead. I was looking at the damn bit rate and I forgot to heal. Honestly, right now I'm fighting against the bitrate more than Omega. I would like to refresh the stream, but my experience suggests that in these kind of situations, stream crashes. Rips from. Well, at least this time it was completely my fault. But I still maintain that this is a completely workable strategy. Okay, screw this. Let's go forward and deal with Neo X Death. So I still maintain that whenever we get Bluemage, as long as we have good damage options against Omega, it's totally possible. Shinryu, on the other hand, nope. I've tried to think of many things, and unless we want to cheese Shinryu, I just don't see it happening without the chemist. Like, in that way, Shinryu is a lot more difficult than Omega, because his repertoire is even worse. And it's not as if it's a 33%. Okay, so setup for Neo X Death is same. What am I going with? Yeah, Samurai with double grip, Knight with double grip. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm level 39 right now, and I attribute that mainly to what? Brave Blade. Why is it 296? How the hell did I not even notice? When did I run away? God damn it, Brave Blade was at 298. When the hell did I run away? Ah, that pisses me off. Anyway, I think I'll just end it after Neo Extet because this is ridiculous. Yep, stream is not cooperating today, but whatever. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Setup we're going in with is Paris the Samurai with double grip Masamune. I managed to steal Genji, but not the Genji helmet. Who gives a Genji helmet? I think it's Gilgamesh in Exted Castle is the one who you can steal Genji helmet from. And since I don't have a thief, I didn't manage to steal a Genji helmet. I've got the Genji armor here because I've got the thief knife, of course. So Genji armor, knight, crystal equipment, brave blade. And Bluemage is basically Blackmage plus Bluemage. And Blackmage has equipped shields. I was debating this Blackmage setup whether I wanted blue as a secondary or equip shields, but I think because Neo Exted likes to take a lot of cheap shots with physical attacks, equip shields I think was I think it's a better strategy instead of using blue. So the Bluemage is going to focus on White Wind. Did you go diamond rather than crystal helmet because of Thunder Half? Does the crystal helmet only grant more defense, or does it have a magic defense component, magic defense and or magic evade component as well? Both my mages have gold pins, and yeah, the Bluemage has the AG shield because he's the one with Mighty Guard and White Wind. So I would much rather the Bluemage have as many blocks as possible. And I went with Equip Shield with the Ice Shield for Lena. Ice Shield has 40% evade. Wait, I should have given a Crystal Shield. I can't give a Genji Shield. Why the hell did I give a Genji Shield? Okay, my bad. Oh man, that 10 extra evade could have same amount of magic defense, no evade. Okay, that makes sense then. And Neo Exted does use Bolt 3, right? So yeah, because the Blackmage does not have blue magic, the Blackmage is going to be focused on offense. So the Bluemage is going to have is going to do most of the legwork in terms of White Wind and Mighty Guard. Which also means that everybody needs to support the Bluemage with elixirs and stuff. Okay, so if Neo Exted has Bolt 3, how much damage does it usually do? Like 2000, right? I think only Flare and Holy do like 2800 damage. And even after Shell, 30% chance of Bolt 3 every 4 turns. Which part does Bolt 3? Back part, I assume. He's the one that takes cheap shots. Same chance as the other spells. Oh, okay. So yeah, Blackmage is going to focus on offense. The Bluemage is going to heal whenever, well, I assume it's going to be most of the time. And everybody needs to support the Bluemage whenever he runs out of MP. So the Bluemage is the focal point in terms of survivability, but other than that, we've got 3 people doing massive amounts of damage. Let's do this. So first we have to deal with 3x death. I'm not going to bother buffing for 3x death because Every time I buff, he just uses White Hole and just cancels everything. So the Blue Mage has Fire Rod, and both the Blue Mage and the Black Mage are going to spam Fire 3s here. So this is just going to be a slugfest until we get to New X Death, with healing in between here and there. Oh, look at that damage from the Brave Blade. I know I've said this many times before, but there are many reasons I like the Brave Blade. Not least because of the amazingly insane amount of... How the hell did you guys evade that White Hole? Insane amounts of damage. Plus, the fact that you have to take every random encounter means you never have to struggle for JP, you never have to struggle for money, and you don't have to struggle for levels. Look at my HP right now. I mean, okay, I have to admit, I did grind. I grinded a lot actually. But since I roll my jobs right at all 4 of my jobs right at the beginning itself, I know it's cheating, so let's just look past that. Immediately once I got this party, I realized that I have a lot of damage options. So I decided then and there I was going to go for the Brave Blade this time. Whenever I get... That's it? Did we do 40? Holy shit! Now that's some damage output. Wow. He tried one White Hole and even that didn't land. But yeah, level 39. Without grinding, normally I would be at this stage at level 33, which is pretty good. Oh, Mage Rage. Hang on, I need to increase my volume here. This is where I'm going to buff. And as mentioned before, the entire responsibility for buffing and healing falls on Butts. Everybody else is going to be on offense. Now, because I have Mighty Guard and I am so high leveled, I'm first and foremost I'm going to be focusing on Grand Cross. What this means is that I'm going to be tanking 3 or 4 Almagests. I hate Grand Cross with a passion. He has wrecked so many of my perfectly reasonable runs single-handedly. What I hate about that guy is you have absolutely no idea what you're gonna get. I mean, truth be told, more often than not, I have gotten lucky with Grand Cross. So very rarely have I actually died to him. But on the occasions that I have, it's been from, it's been from a good situation, and immediately after the Grand Cross is just, we are dead. We are dead. That is what I hate. I mean, there's an inherent sense of unfairness with Grand Cross. Yep. I think we are doing a decent amount of damage to Grand Cross. Like, ideal situation is that we don't even see one Grand Cross. Because I think I'm doing enough damage to constantly cross his thresholds. Almagest is fine. Laws of physics are broken. Okay. Let's hope that we can cross his next threshold immediately. Dispel now! I should have said that I just have a good laugh and start all over. As opposed to that, on the rare occasions, I mean, okay, I also die very rarely, but like I said, when I do die, it's from a good situation. There we go. Grand Cross is dead. Get wrecked, fool. On the rare occasions that I do die to Grand Cross, it's been from a completely dominating situation. That is why I get so pissed off at Grand Cross. Because Almagest is fine. It's a known evil. I mean, having said all that, I have to admit, more often than not, I have gotten lucky with Grand Cross. Normally he would poison or Toad or Mini. Mini doesn't even care. We don't even care about Mini on mages. But Grand Cross is one of the few things in video games that can potentially make me throw my controller away. Not really. I'm just not the raging type of guy. But normally, after my loss, I just take the L and try and improve. You can't do that with Grand Cross! I don't think it needs to be news that I'm a control freak. So the fact that I can't control my destiny there is literally nothing you can do. It just stinks of unfairness. Contrast that with Almagest. He is kind enough to actually announce himself. Oh, there goes Almagest. So I don't need Mighty God anymore. Let's just go all out. Almagest was literally the only thing that I wanted Mighty God for. Now I don't care if he kills his single target spells or physical attacks kill someone. You know, one would think that with the samurai I would be abusing Guild Toss like anything, but I found that Guild Toss is only without assistance from level manipulation. Guild Toss is only really effective until the end of World 2. The last boss it does any decent damage against is Castle X Death. Maybe that Antlion guy as well, but then you have to actually give some respect to Antlion and say he's a boss, which I refuse to do. That guy is a troll, he's not a boss. Heck, I'd even go as far as to say that Crayclaw is a boss, but the Antlion is just a troll. Get me both the troll and the boss. And there we go. I made this look easy, but fuck Grand Cross, man. Fuck Grand Cross. But yeah, Sunday syndrome has hit me. My internet is not cooperating. I thought I was past this when I got my 50 Mbps connection, but we are up to 20% dropped frames. Once again, if this keeps repeating, I might have to lower my bitrate to old values. But then why am I paying so much for my internet then? This is very disappointing, but as I said, I'm gonna end this here. It's just not working out today. You guys have a good day and take it easy. I'm gonna wallow in self-pity and continue grinding on my next run, which I started with White Mage and Zerk. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.